Okay, so I'm going to start with the Maybelline concealer in the shade Medium, and I'm just going to put this on my eyelid. And I'm going to blend it out with the Morphe E8 brush. Okay, so I'm not going to set that concealer, and I'm going to go into the 39A palette, and I'm going to grab this shade. And I'm going to start to pack it in the center of the lid, or the center of the crease. And then this is just strictly packing it. It's just building up that color in the crease. Don't worry about blending it here. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to buff out those edges like slightly with some very small circular motions. This is just like starting to diffuse that color out. And then I'm going to pick up my MAC 224 brush, and I'm going to get a lighter blue shade from the Morphe 35B palette. This is a big fluffy brush, so I'm gonna diffuse those edges even more. And I like to make my shape go a little bit outwards, like this way. So I'm kind of dragging it out. And then I'm going to go back in to that other darker blue shade, and I'm going to bring that color back a little bit on the outer crease. And actually more all the way around the lid. I'm also sort of packing that color here on the outer parts of the lid too. Diffusing it out again. I didn't dip back into that lighter color again. This is kind of just the access. Now I'm going to pick up an even darker blue from the 35B palette, and I'm going to start to deepen those edges and the crease a tad bit more. I'm really focusing it on the outer edges. Because that's where you want to build up most of the depth. And I'm going to go back into that MAC brush, and I'm going to buff out the edges. And I'm going to bring out that color a little bit because I like that kind of shape. Now I'm going to go in with the teensiest bit of black on those outer corners. I'm not really going to put this in my crease too much. Just on the outer bits. And really making sure that depth is there. And also blending after adding new color. Now to cut the crease, I'm gonna get this banana cream shadow. So I'm gonna just dip my MAC 242 brush into it. And I'm gonna cut the center of the crease. About like where I'm looking up, like looking straight ahead, a tad above that. And I'm just gonna pat my finger on those edges to start to diffuse it a little before we go in and blend it. Then I'm gonna pick up that same brush that we've been using this whole time, my Morphe M514, and I'm going to do motions like that to blend that cream into it. Okay, now I'm gonna blend in an orange shade from the Morphe 35O palette, and this is very important to make this spotlight cut crease come to life. I'm just patting this in with a Morphe M421. I also did not set that cream. Okay, so slight change of plans. I'm gonna do an orange shimmer now. This is from the Morphe 35O palette. I'm also spraying the brush with some Fix Plus. So it goes on super duper pigmented. And I'm patting it in to that darker, patting and kind of like slight swiping motions. And then we're just gonna get the lightest shade in the center going. This is from the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I'm gonna swipe it in the center. It looks ratchet right now, but wait. I'm going to swipe it all together. Like, that's kind of how I'm gonna blend it. I need to make that area of the white bigger. So I'm gonna spread it out. And pat. And then I'm gonna go back in with that lighter shade again. Do the same thing. Oh, this is, by the way, on an AOA 122 brush. And I'm just gonna pat it like in the center of where those two shades meet. And then we're gonna go back into the Morphe M514 and we're gonna go in with black. I'm going to go back into that lighter blue again, and I'm going to buff out the edges with that MAC 224 brush. And then I'm basically just gonna run that Morphe brush that we were using the whole time. I'm gonna run that underneath. Put some orange on my waterline with a Morphe M432. I'm gonna go in with the bright orange. And I'm just gonna set it on the eyelid, or on the waterline. Now I'm gonna pop on the Lash Dreams lashes in the style Superstitious. You can use code Jataun15 at checkout to get 15% off. Now for the best part, one of the best parts of makeup is the highlight. So I'm going to use the Looxi Beauty highlight in the shade Guilty Pleasure. These, do you see that? Like, this highlight is so blinding. Morphe M438 brush, and pat it in there. Oh, even that like little bit just goes crazy. Use that same highlight, and I'm gonna dip into it with the Morphe M213.
Mascara on the bottom lash line.
I'm just gonna put on the Dose of Colors liquid lip in the shade Mendoza. Alright, so that's the finished look, and I'm just gonna finish it off with some MAC Prep and Prime spray.